This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. Live tonight from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, where all day, in every possible way, President Clinton has been sending a message to Haiti's military leaders loud and clear. Get out of town, get out of the country, get out now. Nothing else is negotiable, or face an overwhelming U.S. invasion force. Haiti's military leaders, in turn, have been sending back a message of defiance. In effect, they say, if you want us, you'll have to come and get us. So, in between, the Haitian people are resigned to what they now see as an inevitable U.S. invasion. American warships have been visible all day from this capital city. There was an overflight of aircraft early in the morning. Thousands of U.S. troops already are in the area at sea, thousands more on the way. CBS News national security correspondent David Martin begins our coverage.
Army troops and equipment continued moving to their jumping-off points today, and the Secretary of Defense said the invasion force would be in position very soon, although no deadline has been set. Not yet, anyway.
One has not been established at this time. I'm not suggesting there might not be some change in the future in that.
Today in Norfolk, the aircraft carrier Eisenhower got underway with scores of Army helicopters lashed to the deck. Already underway off the East Coast, a second carrier, the America, took aboard an estimated 2,000 air assault troops for what promises to be a first. Army troops launching from Navy ships.
Obviously, the Navy, with their aircraft carrier, can take us to places we cannot go. We can use that deck then to quickly move the soldiers where they need to be.
Army helo pilots do not have a lot of experience operating from crowded aircraft carrier decks.
Yes, there are different dangers, but we have procedures, and we're going to have rehearsals and practices to make sure that we manage all that risk successfully.
In combat, accidents cost lives, and with so little public support for an invasion, President Clinton cannot afford to have many coffins brought home to Dover Air Force Base.
Will public opinion and will support in the Congress still be there when the body bags or the coffins start coming back through Dover, Delaware?
In what White House officials said was a preview of tomorrow night's Oval Office address, President Clinton this evening all but gave Haiti's generals an ultimatum. There's still time for them to leave, he told reporters, but if they don't, the U.S. will have no choice but to invade. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
Underscoring what David Martin just reported, every indication from every U.S. official contacted by CBS News today was that President Clinton is determined that the present Haitian government not stand, that the elected president, Aristide, will be returned to power. Now, if there are any diplomatic moves that are breaking this impasse, they are nowhere apparent. Also, there's no sign of change of heart on the part of the Haitian generals anywhere, or the armed enforcers who impose their rule.
A small band of people have simply taken the country hostage.
2 more bodies dumped by the sea here today are seen by U.S. officials as a brutal symbol of their contention that Haiti's military leaders must be removed. The U.S. ambassador here in Port-au-Prince is not optimistic that an invasion now can be avoided.
Everyone in the country is tired. Everyone is fed up. Everyone wants to get this phase over with. The world is moving rather smartly toward the 21st century, and it's unfortunate to see Haiti moving toward the 18th.
And to those Americans who say, all of that's very interesting, Mr. Ambassador, but I don't see a vital American interest in Haiti, your answer would be?
We cannot stand by and see the human rights of the mass of the people be trampled by a small group. We have staked a lot on making this come out right and restoring democracy and President Aristide to Haiti. And failure to do that now could have a very unfortunate impact in other policy areas around the world. So I think if it comes to an intervention, it's not an intervention against, but in behalf of the people of Haiti.
I feel that the invasion is dead wrong. I think there must be some solution to keep Mr. Aristide out of here for another year and a half.
American businessmen in Haiti, many who worry deeply about what a new Aristide government might bring, say President Clinton is underestimating the real dangers of an invasion.
This is not joke time. And when the President of the United States of America thinks that he's going to come in here and take this country over and no bloodshed, he's a fool.
Certainly there are those who contend that American businessmen may be limited in their knowledge about the poverty most Haitians know intimately. But everywhere you look in this country, there is desperation and need. It is impossible to fully convey just how poor this country is. This morning's food giveaway in this Port-au-Prince slum district erupted in predictable fights. A fight the participants will tell you is nothing less than a struggle for survival in this sad nation. An American frigate, the USS Aubrey Fitch, sailed into the Port-au-Prince harbor, stirring mild interest from the residents here. The mood remains expectant and worried. More citizens than yesterday marched near the presidential palace, practicing for the invasion, but these irregulars are considered less a problem for U.S. troops than potential guerrillas operating in the countryside. Ambassador Swing hopes their effort will be brief.
Any effort at a guerrilla campaign is going to be very short-lived, and I think people are very quickly going to get behind the resumption, if you will, of the democratic process. But as you know from our talk, I'm an optimist.
Most Americans are not so optimistic about what may happen here. President Clinton will make his case to the American people in a televised address that CBS News will carry tomorrow night. The president began laying the groundwork for his case today. And we go now for that to CBS News White House correspondent Rita Braver. Rita?
That's right, Dan. Trying to build momentum for his speech to the nation tomorrow night, the president today gave an interview to wire service reporters in which he called Haiti's ruling military dictators the most brutal, the most violent regime anywhere in our hemisphere. Now, we are going to show some pictures, and we want to warn our audience that they are very, very gory. But they are the ones that the president just showed reporters in his office a little while ago. He described the killing of people and dismembering them, burying them and leaving parts of their bodies to stick out as a means of terrifying people. He also talked about widespread use of rape to intimidate people. All of this as an effort to justify an invasion if the dictators do not step aside. Now, in addition, the president also suggested that there could be a new wave of Haitian refugees to the United States if no action is taken. And he said that the prestige and the credibility of the United States and the United Nations are on the line. He also said that he is aware that public opinion does not support an invasion. He said he is sorry about that, but that the United States cannot be in a position to walk away from a situation like this in our own backyard, Dan.
Rita, Haiti's military generals indicated to CBS News today that they consider the kind of photographs the president saw today at the White House, in their view, propaganda of a low order. Now, as we know, many in Congress are deeply concerned. Some are angry about what they see as the president's plan. For more on that, we go live to Capitol Hill and our chief Washington correspondent, Bob Schieffer. Bob?
Dan, to be blunt about it, there is virtually no support for this invasion here on Capitol Hill. Republican leaders tonight sent the president this letter urging him not to invade without congressional approval. Earlier in the day, Democrats blocked a vote on the wisdom of an invasion because they knew the president would surely lose. And as one senator after another went to the Senate floor, it was clear there is very strong opposition in both parties to this. Among those speaking out, well, they ranged from the Democratic chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee to moderate Republicans like Bill Cohen, who sometimes support the president. It is a harsh thing to say, Dan, but I think that if there is an invasion and it goes wrong, the president's going to be very much on his own. There will be very few from Capitol Hill coming to his defense. Dan?
Thanks, Bob. We'll have more about Haiti later in the broadcast, including some stark evidence that history does indeed repeat itself. Connie has tonight off, so for the rest of the day's news, we go to New York and my colleague Paula Zahn. Paula?
Thanks so much, Dan. Now, still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, progress on the scientific front. Researchers believe they have discovered a gene linked to some breast cancers. And it's official, the lights go out on the 1994 Major League season. Medical researchers believe they have succeeded in their hunt for a killer. They have isolated a gene linked to a type of breast cancer that runs in families. The discovery could revolutionize the effort to identify women most at risk. CBS News health correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott has more about what this major development means and what it doesn't mean.
Susan Shatter was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 48, the same age the disease killed her mother.
Living with the ghost of my mother's death, I felt that I was in some way marked by my heredity.
Today, 5 research teams announced that they had found that mark in the form of an inherited gene accountable for 1 in every 10 breast cancer patients.
We now believe that we've identified the critical gene.
In human breast cells, that critical gene, called BRCA1, normally acts as a brake on cancer growth. In its deadly inherited form, the gene may cause cells to turn cancerous and spread out of control. The race to discover BRCA1 was a prize sought by leading scientists around the world for its potential to screen not only for inherited breast cancer, but ovarian cancer as well. Today's cancer patients are skeptical of its meaning for them.
Just knowing you have the gene with nothing you can do about it, I don't know where that leaves you.
At the moment, the consequence of this will largely be in the research arena. It will be a matter, I would think, at least of 2 years before this kind of testing would be appropriate for women to take advantage of outside of a carefully controlled research environment.
The 600,000 American women who could test positive for this gene may be asked to undergo mammograms beginning as early as age 25 and continuing every 6 months for the rest of their lives. But the hope is that today's discovery may lead to a cure for inherited breast cancer in as little as 10 years. Dr. Bob Arnott, CBS News, New York.
In legal news tonight, a $3 million legal judgment against McDonald's has been brought down to earth. A judge in New Mexico today knocked down the damage award to a woman who was scalded by a cup of McDonald's coffee. The judge reduced the award to about $650,000. On Wall Street, the stock market perked up today. The Dow average rose about 15 points. Well, there is no joy in Mudville tonight or anywhere else baseball is played for that matter. For the first time in almost a century, a major league season will not finish on the field. Fans have been left high and dry and wondering what might have been, as we hear from Jacqueline Adams.
It was the day baseball fans never wanted to see, the day the 1994 season died. For the first time since 1904, there'll be no World Series. Sports fans will never know whether Ken Griffey Jr. could break Roger Maris's 33-year-old home run record, or if Tony Gwynn could become the first player since Ted Williams to hit 400.
Nobody put a gun in their head and said, you know what, you have to do this.
All but 2 of the owners signed the season-ending letter. Acting Commissioner Bud Selig boasted that his group was united in telling the players, you're out.
When you have clubs losing anywhere from $12 to $20 million that are announcing it, and there's some, Frank, quite candidly, that are worse than that, it's not a problem that's going to go away by itself.
The decision came 34 days after players walked off the field. It's a multi-million-dollar fight over limiting baseball salaries, a fight in which the players are just as united as the owners.
What the clubs want to do is they want to say, we are the only employers, and we can make up all the rules we want to about how and when people can look for jobs in this profession.
Observers say the deadlock should not come as a surprise.
The owners are successful businessmen because they're very competitive and they don't like to lose. And the players are successful baseball players because they don't like to lose. And neither side is given toward compromise.
But in Fort Lauderdale, sadness has overtaken the Marlins' Jeff Conine. Instead of hitting hard balls, the all-star left fielder is now playing squash.
I've been playing baseball for 20 years of my life, and all of a sudden to be cut off from it. I think baseball is the boys of summer. You know, we go through all the way through summer, and not to be playing right now is a very odd feeling.
President Clinton has declined to intervene in the baseball strike, and the Senate won't lift the owner's antitrust exemption. Barring a miracle at the bargaining table, next year's spring training could be just another fantasy, like this year's Fall Classic. Jacqueline Adams, CBS News, New York.
And stay with us for more of the CBS Evening News, including a stunning comeback for former Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry. The last big primary night of Campaign 94 has produced the most stunning political comeback of the year. Former Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry could very well be heading back to office in November. Correspondent Linda Douglas has that story.
In Washington, D.C., they are calling Marion Barry's primary victory the politics of redemption. He campaigned by asking voters to forgive his sins, and apparently they did.
Amazing grace, how sweet it sounds, to save a wretch like me.
4 years ago, Barry was seen in FBI videotape smoking crack in a hotel room with a woman not his wife. While in prison, he said he found God. With the city losing faith in Mayor Sharon Pratt Kelly, Barry made an amazing political comeback, aiming his message at the city's poor and unemployed. He argued if there's hope for him, there is hope for them.
You've demonstrated that you don't have to be down, but not out.
He still deserves a second chance.
For some, a vote for Barry was a vote against the establishment. Many here think the government that dominates their city doesn't care about them. But analysts say Barry won by practicing pure politics, promising jobs and all kinds of goodies.
He is beyond race. He is beyond philosophy or ideology. He is at his core a politician.
Some, like talk show host Kathy Hughes, are outraged by Barry's victory, arguing it brings shame upon the city.
It looks as if we feel in the nation's capital that you don't have to have any standard of morality, that anything you do is okay.
Only the predominantly white sections of Washington voted against Barry. Today, he had a message for those voters.
To those white people who got whatever hang-ups they have, get over them.
Barry is by no means mayor yet. He will face tougher competition in the general election because he will be the main issue. Linda Douglas, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, more from Dan Rather, live in Haiti, including Eye on America's special report on the last time we tried to liberate the Caribbean island.
Back now live from the Haitian capital of Port-au-Prince, ground zero for a potential U.S.-led invasion. An invasion threatened and now expected within a matter of days. Among the Haitian people expecting the invasion, there's a sense of déjà vu, a sense that this has all happened before. In fact, it has happened before. Richard Threlkeld looks at America and Haiti, past and present, for tonight's Eye on America.
It's like the warning clouds of a Caribbean hurricane. You can sense invasion in the air. Troops in training, warships gathering, putting everything in place for an American-led invasion of Haiti. It's an action contemplated with the best of intentions to restore peace and democracy. It's not the first time America's tried that in Haiti and discovered that even with the best of intentions, that's much easier said than done.
The United States came in to bring freedom once before. That was 1915. They were supposed to bring democracy. They stayed 19 years.
Like most Haitians, newspaper editor Raymond Joseph has bitter memories of that American invasion.
They left a few roads, a few schools.
But no democracy.
But no democracy. And I don't think they're going to bring democracy this time either.
It took the U.S. Marines 5 years and cost thousands of Haitian dead just to pacify the country. When the Marines eventually left, Haiti was just about as tattered and oppressed as they'd found it. Tyrants like Papa Doc Duvalier took over with his American-trained army and his infamous hired gunmen, the Tonton Macoute. Today they are called attachés. There are thousands of them, and they are well armed.
And they exert great terror and fear in Haiti, and they've got to go. And that's not going to be so easy.
Retired Marine General George Christ was a military advisor in Haiti in the early 60s. He thinks pacifying Haiti with 7 million people packed into a rugged country would be a real challenge.
Out in the hinterlands out here, I've been in that. It's mountainous, little tiny valleys, trouble getting helicopters in, plenty of places to hide weapons to move around inside here.
Guerrilla country.
Oh, good guerrilla country.
Then there's the Haitians themselves, fierce nationalists with a deep distrust of foreigners. American troops may arrive as liberators, but the honeymoon's likely to be brief.
There's this ingrained dislike of whites, and no matter how we go and build bridges, do good works, our skin's different.
Washington wants to restore the elected president, Father Jean-Bertrand Aristide. But Amy Willens, an author and expert on Haiti, thinks that doing it by force would be a mistake.
Aristide supporters feel very uncomfortable about having their former hero and their current hero brought in by the American Marines. It's a very awkward thing, and they're not sure what kind of president he'll be sitting on top of an American occupation.
It's hard not to want to do something for the Haitians. America's spent the last year watching pictures from there of refugees and sudden death. The debates over whether an invasion is the right something.
I think the United States is getting trapped again by the same impulses that led it to intervene in Haiti before.
And here we're wandering into all of this in a pattern which is one sort of written in blood and expecting to do good things. A little bit naive, I think.
We learned once before in Haiti that even with the best of intentions, there's a lot of room for things to go wrong. In New York, I'm Richard Threlkeld for Eye on America.
Coming up on this CBS station, 48 hours. Tonight, how much do we really know about the adults who teach our children? One teacher puts his future on the line to defend himself publicly against the charges of a young female student. That's 48 hours, A Teacher's Touch. Tonight at 10, 9 Central Time. I'll see you then. Dan Rather, CBS News, reporting from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Good night.